This is Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks, and you're listening to the Kayfabe Connection, your home for facts, rumors, knowledge, trivia, and everything you know or hope to know about pro wrestling.
Welcome to the Mankind Cave. Welcome to another episode of Kayfabe Connection, your home for facts, rumors, knowledge, trivia, everything you know or hope to know about pro wrestling. With us, as always, two of the biggest professional wrestling fans in the greater New Orleans area, 504. Larry and Logan, what's good, fellas?
All right. Oh, what's up?
Take a swig of water here. Dude, Dynamite was great this week. We're going to just start it off like that, because really, what other wrestling's going on right now? Right? Dude with the AEW banner is going to talk about AEW at the top of the show, because that's what we're going to do, because it was good. And it's the only wrestling going on right now. So, we're going to talk about AEW. Dynamite was awesome, man. Like immediate thoughts, it just flowed right. Like the whole show flowed between the vignettes, the matches, the little stuff that they threw in here and there. There was a lot of build for Double or Nothing. I think that's the biggest thing that was missing is like because they don't pimp out the pay-per-view system like other companies do. They're really meticulous about their pay-per-view structure. I think that was a big thing that was missing after watching this week's Dynamite is like looking forward to new feuds and like a pay-per-view and like some kind of structure as opposed to just kind of here's the people that can travel and work, so here we go. That and the fact that they're back in Jacksonville and their home little amphitheater at the Daly's place. The Pyro's back. They got people in there social distancing, not so much social distancing. I saw that was the chitter chatter on Twitter. Oh, they did a spit take on Tony and they're not social distancing. They take their temperatures before the tapings, you dickwad. So cool for you care so much about social distancing. That's why you're crying about a haircut right now, right?
I mean, my thing is like, what else do you want them to do? I mean, they're taking the precautions, like they're testing people. If you listen to AEW's official podcast, Tony Khan was on that the other day. It was actually a new interview.
AEW Unrestricted. Yep.
Because the ones they've been airing they taped those like months ago, but this one actually took place like this week. And Tony Khan was saying how he's like flying people in, and people have the will to say whether or not they want to perform or not. They can stay home if they want. He's not gonna think nothing of it. Like everybody is for themselves. Like,
and he actually means it, unlike other places,
right?
Where Roman Reigns gets edited out of the WrestleMania finish, and all you see is Rollins doing the curb stomp on Lesnar, and it goes black, and it's like, ta-da, new champion.
So I mean, they're taking people's temperature. They're taking people's temperature. He's putting them up in hotels, according to what he said on the interview. I mean, what more do you want him to do?
Right.
Yeah. The show goes on, as they say in wrestling, but in this case, we're actually looking for people. And Larry Logan, as I've seen it so far, anybody get fired from AEW right now?
Nah, one.
Not yet.
And on that same podcast, Tony Khan revealed they've lost millions, plural, as opposed to actually getting like some of your highest quarter profits that you've ever earned, despite not doing live shows or what have you, right? So give me a break with that stuff. So yeah, I thought that was hilarious seeing those comments, but I mean, there's a lot of rhetoric. There's a lot of rhetoric thrown around right now, especially with wrestling fans, where, oh, they're not doing this, they're doing that. When do you just watch to just try to enjoy? Because if things are bad, cool, call it out. Things are bad, you know, and we always will, regardless of what company it is, you know. But
I guess maybe I'm jaded because I mean I'm one of the quote unquote essential workers. Like I'm going to work every day. I'm putting myself in a line of danger every day to go to work. So maybe I see it through a different lens than most people.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, you've been out.
But I see nothing. Yeah, I see nothing wrong with what they're doing right now.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think about all this, Logan? Being back at the Daly's place and putting on the show, like.
Yeah, I think that going back to Daly's place is definitely a breath of fresh air. because of the other arena. It was getting kind of like, oh, okay, I'm ready to move on now. The shows wasn't feeling as explosive as they normally would. And, I just think that they're doing everything okay right now. I mean, there's nothing more that Tony Khan can do to make us feel like normal, you know what I'm saying?
Here's another thing that I saw. I thought this was hilarious, and shout out to my pure Rezu fans that'll get this analogy. But there was some scuttlebutt on the social medias about AEW made the promise, which I always think this is funny. Like, people think this was like a fucking like blood scroll of like, prick your finger and like, we declare that we will be super serious and we will just have dudes in black trunks and boots fight each other. I don't know why I got a Shakespeare accent. I guess it was because the blood, scroll. They just promised they would be different. It feels different. It does not feel like a show that I watch and go, why the fuck am I a grown man watching this stuff that is so stupid and there's no continuity and it makes me angry at the writing. Like, it's so dumb. And you do that with TV shows. Game of Thrones. I know Larry definitely feels that way, the same as I did, where after the Battle of Winterfell, you're looking around like, I don't even want to fucking watch this stuff anymore.
Yeah, how do you top this?
I need to see how it ends, but I'm not enjoying this. And then it was done, and it's like, I kind of don't ever, I don't think I'll ever go back and watch Game of Thrones again. That's sad. Like, I'll watch the Battle of Winterfell episode and maybe some like clips on YouTube of like the best moments of the series. I'm not gonna run Game of Thrones back on HBO. It ruined it. So it's beyond wrestling. It's being a fan of anything visually, storytelling wise, that you're watching and you go, this sucks. This is not good. And contrary to people who claim that they don't watch anymore, that's the thing. Because that's the thing too. Like, look at us, for instance. This podcast isn't new per se. It's kind of start stop for the last 7 years. But as far as like the resurgence of this, look at the most hits that we got on our page. Besides me and my wife too sweeting at our wedding, which was a hilarious video, unplanned, pretty awesome though. The most hits that we got on Kayfabe's page, WrestleMania Watch Party, night 1, night 2. Almost 300 views for both. Don't talk about WWE, those numbers. But am I going to sit here and all three of us are going to waste our time for what? 5-7 hours during the work week, and we're spending 7 hours watching shit that we don't want to watch?
There's only so many self-rounded title matches I could stomach.
Right? Like, so it's not about that. With the page, with the show, with anything, we're going to watch things we enjoy. Now, we're still in the know. We're not oblivious. I'm not going to pretend like I just turn my blinders on for WWE. I'm a wrestling fan. And while wrestling is used loosely in that company, literally, I'm still going to be on the up and up and know what's going on. So, yeah, we're going to have discussions about that, but we're, on an occasional watch party where we're just going to crack up, just like this week, Money in the Bank, Sunday, May 10th. We will be watching. We will be hosting a watch party here with Kayfabe Connection. Check it out. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying this content.
And I'm watching it for pure comedy, not to say that I'm going to see actual real wrestling.
Wrestling live that we're watching, I'm going to go, holy shit, dude, that's going to be a banger. Like,
I'm probably going to have my Nintendo Switch next to me, just in case I do get bored.
You can't see it right now. I got the big curve boy right here, like, looking right at it. Like, who's to say I can't just, like, get my Sony, my little PlayStation 1.
All right.
I don't know, Twisted Metal or something while we're watching Money in the Bank. Yeah, so it's so going back, long story long, we go back. This is the thing that I saw. I love how AEW promised that it was going to be different, and it made it like it was going to be New Japan, but really AEW is DDT in the States. And I'm like, have there been like blow up doll matches, or like has there been any of that so far?
Well, number one, what's wrong with that? Number one, if it was true,
Right.
Have you watched the DDT show and been bored? What's in it? Like, this is the thing that it's like fickle. Wrestling fans are fickle. Good guy goes good. Yeah, we want him to get the belt. Good guy gets the belt. Fuck him. I'm rooting for the bad guy. Which one is it? Who do you like? Who do you don't like? Like, it's so fickle. But even for companies, there's people that loved Lucha Underground, rest in peace, rest its soul, 4 seasons, and then shit on it in like the 3rd season. And it's just like, it goes back to that storytelling stuff. But at the same time, how long has AEW been a company? Like, it's tough doing the comparisons with other companies because they're still like a newborn. They're still an infant. But it's such a thing that this is the shiny new toy, and you see everybody's into the shiny new toy, and you got to be the contrarian and go, well, I like my old busted up toy, and I don't like that stupid toy that everybody's talking about and playing with more than my toy. Ratings don't lie. The demos don't lie.
Oh, my favorite is, they just signing a bunch of WWE guys. So what is WWE doing? By that logic, what is WWE doing? Aren't they signing up other people? How many people? Wait, let me finish. How many people have they created? Versus how many people have they taken that already have a name?
We're down to Baron Corbin. The man to not be named Joe, a.k.a. Roman Reigns. He's gotten the Benoit treatment. We got to cut to black, fade to black. When his matches are on, we can't mention his name.
Yeah, they're gonna start photoshopping his fist out to 3 fists.
Right? It's just gonna be one fist like Raleigh.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be like a black dude and like somebody that wasn't in the like someone
ridiculous,
that works
man.
in catering.
It'd be so I can't wait for that Dark Side of the Ring episode, the Roman Reigns episode.
Roman Reigns gonna show up like Luger.
Dude, Reigns gonna have the purple range jump off, like the purple range shirt all super tight, like up to his neck, like
with his hands on his hips.
It's gonna
don't wash jeans, dude.
Wait a minute, is that Roman Reigns?
Wait a minute, is that Joe?
It'll be funny if his cousin Dwayne Johnson followed him to AEW.
Well,
he already watches it. Yeah.
This is a comment that I made to several people online. Talent doesn't just come out of nowhere. You gotta find talent somewhere. You gotta recruit, right?
And my thing is nothing's wrong with WWE taking the talent, but it's just that WWE heavy fans they love. Yeah, well, yeah. But they love saying that AEW is taking WWE guys and putting them on a pedestal, and WWE's been doing that with other promotions for years. You can go all the way back. Yeah, go back to the Crockett's and AWA when they started raiding promotions.
Memphis, AWA, NWA, WCW, as they like to say in a very like derogatory fashion.
World class.
Right? You go ECW. They pervert brands. Look at ECW, dude. They took it. Vince like, oh, you could have easily just did the did the brick wall like fucking entrance thing. Just keep it. It works. Everybody loves it. Hey. No, I'm gonna put my own spin on it. It's trash. It's not good. Like keep it.
Look at NXT UK. Same thing. NXT UK.
You mean Progress WWE?
Well, yeah, NXT UK is WWE ECW.
Dude,
same thing.
Dude,
literally the same thing.
Ding, ding, ding.
What the hell is
Larry, what is wrong?
What the hell is Jim Smallsman at this point? Like, I don't even know if does he still have a social media account? I thought I had him on IG. I don't even see him posting.
Out of all the people I met at WrestleMania weekend, like that was the number one person I was excited to meet.
Right.
Because Progress was very hot.
What is his role? Like, what does he even do? Have you seen him? Have you seen a picture of him?
I follow him on Instagram. That's the only reason I see him.
Well, I see he's playing with toys.
Nice.
Shout out to Zack Ryder.
Oh, dude. Speaking of petty levels, How are you gonna do an A&E show literally about doing a thing that of the two dudes that you just fired did already that still do on YouTube?
What Triple H and Stephanie? You think they give a fuck about Torch?
What? Dude,
And you're gonna do it with Triple H and Stephanie.
Ridiculous. Like,
Ridiculous.
yeah, she used to model the shirts in the catalog back in the day. Let's do a show. Yeah. Dude, it's so crazy and bizarre, but that's the thing. There's so much animosity about this new thing that's bubbling up, and you can't change the narrative. It's like, we have to keep the narrative. WWE is the best promotion, the biggest one, the only one that matters. And if you think otherwise, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. And it's like, dude, you would think at this point, fuck, if you watched Dark Side of the Ring for the last season, everything points to Vince. Everything points to that company. We're not in the age of like Yahoo chat groups where you're like, oh, these people sound like, fucking Alex Jones type guys. Like, it's just hearsay. It's not proven. And then you see all this stuff and all these people. Dude, Kurt Hawkins was just interviewed and said AEW is doing a better job with no fans than WWE is. Former WWE guy twice removed Kurt Hawkins. Excuse me, Brian Myers now because of John Floyd. And
from a PWG stuff.
Right. So it's like the proof is in the pudding, man. And but we're, Larry, and you know this too. It's like we're in the era, and I hate to be all you youngsters out there. We're in our 30s. But man, doesn't it feel like we're in that era where it's like you're either a dick rider or a hater? There's nothing.
Right.
You can't just like something or dislike something. It's like you got to be so far on the fringe with both. Oh, you ride nuts because you're riding AEW's nuts, or oh, you just a hater. It's like, dude.
And honestly, I don't remember
things.
Yeah, I don't remember growing up in the 90s like being like, oh, F WWF, I'm gonna watch WCW. Like we watched both.
Mm-hmm.
With no problem.
Back in
PlayStation,
the day, VHSs recorded.
You bought all the games back then.
PlayStation 4 versus Xbox One. Why you can't just have both? They're both good for different reasons. Why everything is team versus team? Like I don't know. Maybe because humans are tribal by nature or something. I don't know.
Do you think we want to see Shinsuke as a surfer and not putting on banger matches?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It'd be different if WWE was actually putting out great content. But I could objectively say that you're not doing that right now.
Objectively. Our favorite wrestlers work there, and we don't give a fuck about them.
And I want them to succeed because it's better for the business and all of that stuff. But, I mean, they suck. I mean, I can't spin it any other way. It's not like I want them to suck.
Right.
They do suck.
Yeah, right? And it goes to show, too, you can have all the money you want. You can have all the former legends that you want to pimp out. You can have all the lucrative TV contracts. If the show is dookie and doesn't make sense, the writing doesn't make sense, champions are put over that people are just scratching their head going, why did Rollins beat The Fiend just like that? Now we don't give a shit about The Fiend. Easy stuff. Bailey just coming out with the balloons and like little kids love her. Oh, let's do this with her. This is your life, Bailey. You have all these things handed to you, but you're so stubborn to not be successful. You would rather not be successful and put your own spin on it than to just fucking take something that you know is gold and will work and give fans what they want. No, we can't do that.
That goes to your point earlier about people saying, oh, AEW is more of the same. Like, how does AEW treat championships versus how does WWE treat championships?
Right.
Like every match matters in AEW.
Yeah.
The title's just not passed around like a hot potato.
Yeah. Well, someone made that point too. We saw on Dynamite, and hey, we called it last week, Brody Lee and the Dark Order jumped Mox after his match. And so now we have a new challenger. Someone on Twitter said, how are they going to have Brody Lee lose in his debut pay-per-view match? And I said, who's saying he's losing?
Right.
who's saying he's losing? Because that's the thing about Moxley. I don't want to be. I know it's lazy to use like the Stone Cold analogy with him,
Yeah,
but
that's so easy to
much
do.
the same with Stone Cold. He was a better chaser than he was. How long? Look at the title reigns for Stone Cold. Hell, even The Rock. Look how 50 days at max.
Yeah.
They weren't long. Bruno Sammartino,
Dusty Rhodes.
style.
Dusty Rhodes was the same way.
Dusty, yep. There's some people the chase is just so much more enjoyable than the championship reign.
And I'm glad you say that because I know there's a lot of people like, oh, Darby lost again. But when Darby wins the belt, like how long you think should he hold it? Like he's gonna have one of those short reigns. Like that's his whole MO. It's about the chase with Darby Allin. That's his character. He's an underdog. He works from underneath. He's the Tommy Dreamer of AEW.
Exactly.
Tommy Dreamer won years without winning the belt. He finally won the belt, and what helped him? Before he got off the ring, he got beat up.
Yeah.
That's his story.
That's the story, yeah. So not everybody's going to get an 8-month reign as that would be boring. And not everybody's cut for that. Not everybody's story matches with that. You know, but if you're of the Kid Cudi A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, if your brain works that way, cool, you're gonna be pissed off. if you're a person that can like free think and like think critically, then you're gonna actually want more out of different people and not the same story with every wrestler. Every wrestler has their path to whatever championship feud. Some don't win titles. Some just have their feuds are bigger than titles sometimes. Right?
Yeah, look at Cody. I mean, AEW's able to pull off like Cody's like feuding with like 4 different people right now.
Yeah, that's dope.
So he has a pro. He could go like 4 different ways for like the next 6 months. WWE, everything's so linear. Everything's like this guy is beefing with this guy to the next pay-per-view, and then he's gonna fight that guy at Great Balls of Fire or whatever dumb pay-per-view is coming down the line. Well, in AEW, you're able to like pivot and move to different matches every week.
Yeah,
keep the storylines fresh.
Look how many
genius idea.
Dude, Sean Spears, Darby, MJF. This dude has like 4 feuds that are still kind of pending that he can just kind of like Frogger and just jump from different
Warlord
to like
right.
Like Larry said, it's not just linear. At Great Balls of Fire, you're gonna wrestle Big Cass, and then you're gonna fight Enzo, and then you're gonna wrestle
Big Show.
not to mention
Pain.
Not to mention, half of the time we don't even know the card to these damn shows to the day of.
Dude, right?
And you would think a company with all the writers they talked about having, it'll be more organized, but it's not.
Yeah, and it's like that's the thing I enjoy about AEW too is like Jungle Boy's getting a pay-per-view match against MJF, and I'm like, oh shit, like okay,
that's gonna be a banger. Yeah, I think they might steal the show. Actually.
I haven't seen him in a little bit.
Right.
Everything feels fresh. And they have fewer wrestlers than that company. Dude, they have like 300 wrestlers in like a month. You're like, fuck, dude, I'm sick of Gargano. I'm sick of whomever, Lashley. I'm sick of this guy because you see him every single fucking week, sometimes twice a week. Because they got the skeleton crew now for this, I'm not going to say the word, but this stuff that's happening currently.
Yeah, we can't say that on YouTube.
Yeah, I can't say it.
The thing.
Yeah, like you're not sick of it. I'm never sick of anybody or like I'm so sick of like Luchasaurus. Like, I never feel that way because everything is so fresh.
It makes you miss it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you have to see the world champion every week? He's the world champ. It's like back in the day.
Yeah.
How many times did we see Hulk Hogan? Maybe like 4 times. Like every 2 months.
Yeah.
Even in WCW, he didn't come to Nitro every week.
Nope.
He was a champion. You don't have to.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That freshness. You have to keep things fresh. It's like fucking Ja Rule when Ja Rule was on the country station back, and it seemed like he was on everything. And it was like cool for a little bit, and his fad was like that window was like right there. And everything else was outside of here. And that little fad was just in your face, like blah, 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 featuring Ja Rule. And you're like, I hate Ja Rule. Not that I dislike Ja Rule in any way. I'm talking like circa like 99, 2020.
Yeah, 2002,
In the Fire Fest
2003.
documentary, Honky Tonk Man status to John Bro. He's a piece of shit. But yeah, like, I don't get sick of people because they're in my face 7 hours a week and then on a pay-per-view and then the same thing and they're screaming at the end of the show and they're standing tall and it's like, God, I'm so sick of them.
That's why I love New Japan so much, because when things are normal, I mean, we see a show, like once a month? We see a show from them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're not on one of those Road 2 tours or whatever?
You're right.
Yeah, you keep it fresh, man. And that's the funny thing too, because they're not talks, it's confirmed. TNT blessed them with another show, and we don't know when it's going to debut, but we're going to have like a Thunder adjacent type AEW program where you're going to get banger matches. We're like, oh shit, Death Triangle wasn't on Dynamite. Yeah, you're right, they weren't. It's like people will be missing, and that's not underscoring them like, oh, they're not that important for you to miss. It's like there's so much talent and different things moving around constantly and fresh that you're like, oh yeah, oh shit, Pac he hasn't wrestled in like a month. I haven't seen him. He just cut a promo like a month ago. Oh, cool, he's got a match on blah, 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 whatever the new show is. Cool. That's so much better than like, all right, it's like predictable. You're like, all right, here we go. Like McIntyre versus, Shorty or whatever.
Yeah, and I have full faith that, unlike WWE, which missed the drop the ball on that, they could, because if they played their cards right, they'll be able to build stars on main event. But I have full faith in AEW with the second show, they could build new stars.
Right.
Like Pineapple Pete, shout out to Pineapple Pete.
Yo, whenever he drops ProWrestlingZeus.com, I got to get that Pineapple Pete shirt, man.
QT Marshall, even Kip Sabian, who he's still kind of green, but you can tell you the sky's the limit for him.
Right.
Yeah, man.
So I have full faith in the second show.
Somebody has been super underwhelming in AEW, because we're not all rose-colored glasses here at Kayfabe Connection, is, Joey Janela has been kind of weak. Like,
well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I think they're dropping the ball on he's best when he's on like plunders type of stuff. And they're trying to turn him into this, I guess because of post-injury, he's trying to play it safe with the wrestling style of wrestling he's doing, but I don't know.
But once you limit him, it's like he kind of gets exposed.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of really one-dimensional, and you're like, what sticks out? If all the and that was the problem too. Dude jumped off the building and broke his back, basically.
In a pile of light bulbs and whatever else was in that truck.
That's the problem, man. You do these ultra-violent matches. Because that's the thing, too. Did you see that? Also, people were pointing out in 2011, Brody and Mox wrestled in CZW, and the show ended, and you can hear people before the pay-per-view saying, we want a refund, and that was it, and like, blah, blah, blah. And people are talking shit like, oh, that was 9 years ago. Imagine it now. Here's the thing. These two that are going to be in the main event, one's not a fake hillbilly with a sweaty wife beater, and the other isn't a dude that squirts relish and mustard and ketchup on his opponent. First off. Second off, the reason that the people chanted, we want a refund, and that was it, it's CZW, ultra-violent wrestling. They were expecting blood and guts, didn't get any. That's why they booed. Not because of the workers, not because whatever, the work rate or whatever, the nerdy terms that you're going to throw at us. No, they wanted a violent match and they didn't give it to them. It was a CZW umbrella. So that's the thing about this. For people that, with that chitter chatter of, another former WWE guy, the main eventer on Raw is a former Evolve guy, former TNA guy, Drew McIntyre. The champion on SmackDown. Who is the champion on SmackDown? Oh, Braun Strowman. That's your one homegrown guy, him and Corbin. So I'll give you that.
Sucks.
Kudos. You got a homegrown guy.
Nothing made me madder than I remember. I think it might have been a Raw after Mania. Fred and Logan, y'all are already done with WWE by that point. But I remember I got some free tickets. Shout out to my boy Jonathan. I got free
Yeah,
tickets
yeah.
to Raw. And
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I'm trying to remember who debuted that night. It might have been
Bobby
Bobby
Lashley.
Lashley. Yeah, and somebody, Triple H or somebody made the comment, "Oh, why don't y'all go back to TNA?" And I remember just sitting there like throwing my hands in there like, "Isn't half of your roster TNA right now?"
Mojo.
Samoa Joe, AJ
AJ
Styles.
Styles.
Yeah.
Kurt
Matt
Angle.
Hardy, who reinvented his career in TNA because y'all didn't do anything with him. Kurt Angle, another guy who best years were in TNA.
Christian
At
Cage,
me.
best years.
At me if you wanted to beat Kurt Angle's best years in TNA.
Facts.
At me if you wanted to beat. Not Kurt Angle with the hair.
That shot by Lou on Twitter.
Yeah, not Kurt Angle with the little cowboy hat.
Right.
Jimmy Crack Corn, huh?
Seth Rollins, Ring of Honor. Kevin Steen, Ring of Honor. Sami Zayn, Ring of Honor. Claudio Castagnoli, Ring of Honor. Daniel Bryan, Ring of Honor. That rhetoric is so that is what we call, my friends, a slippery slope, if you will. That's a slippery slope. We're not gonna go down that road. Oh, well, their guys are all former. That's the fucking whole company.
Yeah, the star
WWE
making
is literally Stardom, fucking Shimmer, Evolve, Ring of Honor, PWG, CZW, Adam Cole, longest reigning NXT champion, CZW, Ring of Honor, PWG, whatever company you want to throw, that was them. Well, those weren't like big stages though, like WWE.
Last I checked, he performed in Tokyo, though. Didn't it?
Dude,
He was with the Bullet Club.
man.
Shout out to Bullet Club, too. The anniversary is this week.
Oh, yeah, 7 years, man. Shout out to the Good Brothers, too, man. I can't wait. They got a big announcement they said coming in July, dude. I'm beyond the interwebs, just refreshing, just waiting. Because I'm hoping it's New Japan. I mean, I'd like to see them in AEW, but I'm really hoping it's New Japan and we get them joining the Bullet Club again. And
World Tag League, maybe.
Right? Man. Yeah, this week, I mean, what kind of news and rumors and stuff have we heard? Like, the Money in the Bank stuff sounds hilarious. Like, the men and women's matches are going to be going on at the same time, and like, they've already
see how they gonna do that.
Dude,
It's gonna be one of those things. I think it's gonna be like the Taker match at Mania. It's gonna be so bad. I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, yeah, man.
I'm looking to crap on it, man.
Well, I'm still gonna crap on it. It's gonna be so bad you're gonna have to crap on it.
I mean,
it's gonna be entertaining. I'm willing to bet it's gonna be entertaining.
It might be so boring that I might have to venture out to one of my 4 Arcade 1-Up cabinets here. Has nothing to do with wrestling, but shout out to Arcade 1-Up. Looking to get Pac-Man and Star Wars. I'm getting ready to pre-order my NBA Jam cabinet, which is going to go right over here.
Did you see that Star Wars cabinet? I just saw it the other day.
Sit down one.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Dude, I'm telling you. I need that in my living room. So shout out to
Put that in the garage, yeah.
Bowling Allen and G's, huh?
You said what?
Bowling Allen status.
So yeah, shout out to Arcade 1-Up. Yeah, man, it's like, it'll be nice when we can just talk about more as far as wrestling goes and it not constantly be this AEW versus WWE talk, because it seems like as the weeks go on, they're the only 2 things going right now. And one is super shitty and one was kind of weak. Now is actually pretty good. So I'm actually looking forward to that, to start talking about more companies, shining some light on other promotions like OTT in Ireland. Man, when we went for our honeymoon, they were running a show. I forget which show it was, but it was the week after we left, and I was so bummed. I'm like, man, that would have been so dope to go to Ireland and go to OTT. Like, it's Irish PWG basically for the rest of the heads out there.
And if you haven't seen OTT, just look at their promotional videos. Like, it's some of the best cinematic stuff you'll see on YouTube.
And we all subscribe to their app. It's cheap. It's what, like $6 a month? Like, come on, dude. You're gonna go to like Jack in the Box or Mickey D's or something. Like a Big Mac meal is gonna be more than like, just invest. Watch some
Right.
of these apps, man, because OTT
That's
is probably my favorite indie going right now. Bar
I'm
none.
actually on the app right now looking to see.
So good, man. And before all the hoopla happened, Moxley was supposed to wrestle David Starr. That was like a huge match.
That was gonna be a great match.
Their vignettes that
was.
they do are just like old school, like My Way or the Highway, like Rock Stone Cold-esque, like that level of just
Yeah,
you
if
watch it and you're like, fuck, I'm gonna order this. I don't even know these feuds. I'm gonna order this show because it looks next level. Like doesn't
if
look
y'all haven't seen, if y'all haven't seen Jordan Devlin versus David Starr,
woo
I
banger,
highly recommend that match.
banger.
You'll start asking yourself like, why is WWE dropping the ball with Jordan Devlin?
Guys, we have breaking news here. Kayfabe Connection, sad to announce. Total Bellas draws their lowest viewership since March of 2019. So
Oh man.
this be the end of Total Bellas.
Who gives a I'd rather watch Chris Lee's knows best.
Another rumor, Larry, were you the one that blessed us with this hilarious rumor? SummerSlam? Yeah.
Taking place
More
on
breaking
Hogan's,
news, Larry. What was that breaking news about SummerSlam?
allegedly, according to dirt sheets, SummerSlam is going to take place on Hulk Hogan's private beach.
Logan, you should go and wear that shirt ringside.
Yeah.
Brother.
Shout out to Huey P. Newton. Take a swig of water.
It's crazy because I took a picture with Hulk Hogan and Paula Dean. Within like the same week at work at my job, because I have a lot of celebrities that come through my job.
Dude,
And like no matter than a month later, the news came out about both of them.
Dude, Larry has the Madden curse. Larry has the Madden curse when it comes to like meeting celebrities. Although you met Rosario Dawson, and I'm super jealous, and she's not racist.
Yeah.
So at least we don't.
And I met Sanaa Lathan.
And you met Jake Hager.
Yeah, Jake Hager.
Yeah,
Jake
Jake.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of Jake Hager, how epic was that final shot of all them? They're at the Jaguar Stadium is connected to that Daly's Place venue. So you got the field. They kept teasing the field. Dude, the golf cart memes.
Literally
This week.
Literally the tunnel that the Jaguars like run through. It was standing right there with the big jumbotron in the back. Like that's gonna be like the pose of the century for AEW, I think.
I need that on a hoodie.
That snapshot will live on forever in the company.
Yeah, for as far as AEW goes, like that's
Did y'all
a big scrapbook moment right there.
Did y'all hear the TV feed with Tony Khan?
In the background where he's like, fucking nailed it.
Oh, Logan, I hear it? Yeah, like, so they go off the air, and I guess the feed was still up. You can hear Tony Khan, like, everybody's clapping, like, Tony Khan's like, y'all FNL, the guys, like, you can tell, like, it's a great company to work for. Like, the owner's, like, that engaged in the company, and he's cheering the troops on and stuff. Like, that's the kind of company you want to work for.
That's pretty major.
Roman Reigns came out and admitted this week the reasoning behind his departure from live programming and being on location in Orlando. And it's no surprise, and good for him. It was via TMZ Sports. You could Google it and see the link or whatever dirt sheet you go to. And it was like a 3-minute interview. His little kids even walked into the shot, and they were like, all right, well, we're going to let you go. Seemed real cool and chill. And he has 2 new baby twins. He has twins. His wife just gave birth. Forgive me for misquoting. I think like 8 weeks old or something like that. He has brand new babies at home. He doesn't want to go spear Goldberg for a 3-minute match and scream and get dog food poured on him to risk his kids' lives. Yeah, so he's at home just like, oh, cool.
And catch the thing at Titus Catering.
Yeah, eating mac and cheese with Titus. Like, who gives a shit? So, shout out to him for standing his ground. You see how this is how petty they are. Their top guy that they've shoved down our throats for 5 years goes, I got newborn kids. I care about my family. Isn't it that slick talk too? Like, we all work and we're not going to reveal because, we're kind of going to speak maybe a little bit ill about it. But we've all been in that workplace, either current or past, where your manager will come up to you and go, I just want you to know that your family here, and, your family is always the most important thing. How many times have you gotten that spiel? And for a fact it's bullshit. Case in point, that was bullshit. Well, if they don't want to work and they're not comfortable, then they're more than welcome to. We're just going to edit you out like Benoit. You're protecting your family. One dude killed his family, and you two are going to get the same treatment on current WWE television. Can't say their names, and you black out whatever it is that's on the program.
He might not get a happy birthday message from Vincent actually on Twitter. Anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, like,
he'll get as good as Shane gets.
Yeah, the running joke on Twitter is that Vince McMahon just says "Happy Birthday Shane" on Twitter, but literally for everybody else, it's like a long drawn out paragraph message about how great they are. For Shane McMahon, it's like 2 words: "Happy Birthday."
Yeah, it's good news because I hate anybody to be mistreated with their work, but one person's trash is another person's treasure. So I'm all for seeing workers I enjoy, and hearing people go, oh, they're just the castaway. Cool. I'm enjoying because it was a t-shirt company and the piss ant company. Now they're going to be the castaway. There's all these names we attach to it. It's still better. It's still more enjoyable.
Arguably the biggest star in company history was a castaway. Wasn't Steve Austin a castaway?
He works for ECW, WCW. Yeah.
And I'm old enough to remember his tag team run in WCW, which was great.
You're literally hard-pressed to find homegrown talent. Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman. Those are your two guys. And I guarantee you, we're not a prediction show here, but I'm feeling real, predictable right now. Baron Corbin's winning Money in the Bank. And everybody will go on Twitter and cry about it and say they're not watching and he can't wrestle, blah, 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 blah. Then 2 weeks later, I'm kind of feeling this Corbin run right now. Like, I like what they're doing with him. And there's all the dorks are going to rejoice when he cashes in. And there's going to be the hipster contrarian people that are like, oh, I'm a
pitmaster himself. Go back to grilling your 30-day age brisket or whatever else you're cooking on your grill, Baron Corbin.
Dude, when you go on some of these wrestlers Instagram and you see how one-dimensional they are, no personality or depth, it's I'm just food and
But they're flaming homophobe / racist like Lord Sullivan.
Right. Man, what happened to him, man?
Birdman status. What happened to that boy?
Is he still signed? Or is he
Yeah, he's still signed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Trump in the Hall of Fame. Hogan is active role on TV, and Lars Sullivan's still employed. They have a strict no racist policy at WWE. We're going to get some thumbs down on this episode. We got Black Panther shirts. We got derogatory WWE marks. I love it. What's that? What's Dwayne Wade say, Larry?
Love it.
Oh, what's Batista saying?
Shout out to
Deal with it.
Shout out to the HBCUs.
Deal with
it. Clear Soul dropped their last album. Check them out on.
Yeah, shout out to Novelist, one of the best rappers out.
Let's shout out to all the fellas.
Yep.
Man. So I think it's triple threat.
No.
Wait. Almost, but wait, there's more. Almost forgot, dude. I would be remiss if we did not discuss this. Let's talk about what is his name? It's not Killer Cross. What is it? Karrion Cross?
Karrion Cross?
Karrion Cross. And is Scarlett still Scarlett? I don't know. Is she?
Yeah, I'm just glad her name doesn't start with a K, because the KKK thing would have been wild.
She's like Caitlyn.
Wow.
Like,
I didn't even think about that. That's a
good
good
thing
one.
that all the K names have been like Kelly, Caitlyn. They've all been taken, dude. Holy shit, KKK. That would be a very bad move, but yeah. But no, Killer Cross's entrance. You would have thought this dude did the fucking Apollo Creed "Living in America." He's coming out with James Brown. You would have thought it was the dopest shit ever, like that was back in the day. This shit was like cringe-worthy, atrocious. Like, I can't imagine a live audience seeing that, and you're for the first time, and you're watching it, and you're just like, what's happening here?
The sad thing is,
Right.
the Full Sail crowd, they're gonna sing along to that stuff. You know they will.
And then Scarlett's like in the back. I actually have one here now, so I can do like what girls do when they're on the dance floor and think they're hot. Like, what are you doing? What was that? And like I told Logan off camera, it was like they had like like I can imagine them in Full Sail. They're like, yo, what if we did like this burlesque type thing? No, but yo, what if we did like this evil thing with smoke? No, but what if we did like Kane with red lights? No, but what if it, like they couldn't decide, and they're like, fuck it.
It was pieced together like.
And also, let's not lose sight that the smoke during the match is also part of it.
Really? Are you serious?
Yeah, like they were blowing smoke in the ring during the match.
It was pieced together.
That's gonna be every week thing.
It was pieced together like you playing WWE 2K20 or some shit, and you download some community creations, Larry.
Advanced ring entrance.
Right.
You gotta go to ring entrance, and you gotta go to apron entrance.
Right. Then you gotta.
That's when you gotta hit the breakout button. Like, fuck this! I'm not watching this.
You know. The funny thing is, he's a big deal right now. Like, obviously, he's gonna get pushed because they wouldn't put that much money behind his entrance.
Yep.
But you know what's gonna happen? He'll get pushed. He'll probably win the belt in NXT. Title. I can't say belt. He'll win the title in NXT. Then he'll go up the Raw. He'll do the entrance a couple of times, maybe the Raw after Mania. Then after that, slowly but surely, they're gonna start taking away stuff from his entrance. First is gonna be the lip sync. Then they're gonna take away the smoke. And then one day you're gonna be watching Raw. You turn on the TV, and he's just gonna be in the ring.
Yeah, jobber entrance, dude. Just
like I was listening to Voices of Wrestling. They were saying that like it's. Slowly but surely they're gonna start taking stuff away from him.
Stuff, yeah.
Well, first of all, he's gonna be standing over somebody breathing heavy, and then pointing to the pay-per-view sign. then by Survivor Series, he'll be a nobody.
Dude, Scarlett on her Milli Vanilli shit, dude. Girl, you know it's girl, you know it's girl, you know. Dude, what is that shit?
What goes on backstage?
Dude, it's so funny, especially when most people love it, and you're like, and it's not contrarian. It's just I don't understand why people enjoy this. Like they watch that, like, yo, that was tight, man. Like I want to see that again.
How much time do they have to come for when they write these shows for their entrance? Like that has to take up like at least 2 minutes of your show time.
His Undertaker status.
Or even Finn Balor, like he does the same thing. Like those long entrances, there's like a gift and a curse with those entrances.
And if he comes out last, like because he's like the main eventer or the title holder, who's to say the other? Why don't they just beat his ass? Like you're gonna sit there and you're all jacked up. You were doing like the resistant band, like lifts in the back. You get through the curtain, you come through, and this dude has like a whole like she's lip syncing and stuff. Beat the shit out of him while Scarlett's lip syncing. Like, why would your opponent just sit there and be like, all right, now, man, just beat the shit out of him.
The minute he starts losing matches, that interest is gonna be even more cornier. It's like with Bobby Roode when he was coming out on a rotating platform and all of that stuff. I don't even know.
Yes.
Does he still do that?
I don't know. I'm surprised he didn't make that list.
He got fired.
Did he?
Yeah, he got released.
Well, I don't remember seeing him on that list.
Bobby Roode got released?
He got released, yeah.
I skipped over his name.
Literally nobody talked about that.
Right?
Yeah, he got released, dude.
And shout out to Beer Money. They'll be in NWA in no time.
Yep. Right. Sorry about your damn luck. No
Shout out to him too. He came to NXT for like 2 weeks. He got one paycheck.
Get out.
Yeah, James Stone was smart. Everybody at the time.
His nose started bleeding. He's like, let me sign with somebody.
I remember saying, like, man, why is James Stone leaving NXT? Like, this is the hottest brand. And now I understand why he left. I understand why he left now.
I just picture that, like, a Get Out scenario, like, at catering, and like, yo, like, isn't this company tight? And you're like,
Everybody was
blood
fantasy
starts
booking
dripping
him.
down.
Oh, everybody was fantasy booking too. Like, man,
Oh man, James Storm, and like, just
I got mad respect for James Storm because I remember Wale Mania. Remember that Logan? He came to Wale Mania.
yeah, sure
He was on the stage rapping word for word every Wale song.
Yeah.
oh, for real?
All the West Side Gun stuff, you know, all the words, all of that stuff. He was on stage rapping every lyric.
Yeah, I was shocked.
I was like, damn, James Storm a hip hop head.
Right?
James Storm's all people.
Well, the funny thing
I'm
is,
assuming, like,
the funny thing is, AJ Styles' theme was supposed to be for him.
whoa, really?
Whoa,
Yeah, they
I
made
didn't
that
know
theme.
that.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
made
I
that
didn't
theme
know
for
that.
James Storm.
Wow.
Because you know AJ doesn't listen to rap.
Sure don't, huh?
Nah.
The guy that laughed at Kid Rock's Republican joke at the Hall of Fame doesn't listen to rap. Dude, Dion, shout out to SOS Wrestling Network. Dion, back in the day, what he would call James Storm, he would call him Stone Cold Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels.
Stone Cold Shawn Michaels, because he like drinks beer and does the super kick. Like, it's so funny, man.
James Storm's major. I like the man.
Shout out to James Storm. James Storm's awesome, dude. And his NWA run's been fun.
Yep.
Yeah. Eli Drake. I'm so ready for NWA to get back, man.
Yeah, I miss it.
Man.
We talked about OTT with the YouTube content. NWA is another company that like kills it with the content.
And like, you see the metal behind me. I'm a metalhead. I love Pantera, but like, man, that doc and Into the Fire, that shit.
I don't know why. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know why they got rid of this.
Every Tuesday, I'm over there at 6:05. I'm just on my couch, like, just, dude, it just fit. Like that, just hair metal shit. Like it just fit. Like,
Shout out to Eddie Kingston
really
too.
fit. But yeah, man, I miss NWA. I can't wait for them to get their footing back and to get some live show. I'll be down in Atlanta for a live taping that once things get back to normal, or as normal as normal will get, the new normal.
Yeah, you know, Georgia's kind of acting crazy right now, so it'll be a while before I go to Atlanta.
Yeah. I'm with you, Larry.
Man.
Same with like New York. We were talking about the Wrestle Dynasty show for New Japan. And I'm like, oh man, we should go. And then I'm starting to think about it. I'm like, man, New York's kind of like bugging out right now.
Right.
Yeah, last time I went to New York, I ended up in an ambulance from the flu.
Right.
So
Right, dude.
it'll be a while before I go back.
Dude. Man, we're going to be via satellite like The Rock.
Right.
Man. I will come to New Orleans, though. That's a fact. It's been way too long. It's been 2 years, man. I got to get down there. You guys send me pics of the food almost every day. I'm just ready. I got like a laundry list of spots we got to hit. Oh, we got to hit the giant pizza spot. Oh, you got to get the chicken here. Oh, you got to go to this, like.
Go home for some records. Shout out to Euclid Records. Go get some records.
I got to slip
I'm spending that Mad Villain tonight.
Slick like Freudian. Dude, Accordion, that's a legendary album. Don't tell anybody about using that hair voice beat for the original Kayfabe stuff. You flew that one under the. Obviously, I'm a big Doom fan. If you can see right there, I got the Operation Doomsday. Yeah, man. I think we're at triple threat time now. I think we're ready to cap off another episode of Kayfabe Connection. Our main event. Tonight's triple threat, this was in conjunction to the hilarious triple threat with Lay Sex Gods, dope tag team name, by the way, and Matt Hardy, Broken Matt Hardy, and Kenny Omega. their street fight was so entertaining. Like they utilized the concession stand, the golf, the cart of golf, as Hardy said.
The cart of golf.
It was one of the more entertaining street fights because that shit gets super repetitive and you feel like you've seen it one too many times. But the Booker T Stone Cold like grocery store match, like I consider that a street fight. Like they weren't in a ring, like they were outside of the arena. We're talking about our triple threat match tonight. Triple threat, top 3 street fights of all time. We were talking off podcast about this a little bit, rehearsing our match, calling our spots. There's some fun ones that we can put on here. Maybe some honorable mentions. Who wants to go first? Tonight's triple threat.
I'll go. All right, so first, at number 3, I have Edge versus Foley, WrestleMania 22.
Oh man, dude.
That match was crazy. Like the flaming table at the end. Like
Yeah, it was. I was at Hooters watching that one.
I could feel the heat coming through the TV. Like that match was crazy. And then at number 2, I have Beulah McGillicuddy versus Bill Alfonso in ECW. If anybody hasn't seen this match, please look it up because it's like literally like one of the bloodiest matches ever. And bloody even by ECW standards. Like Beulah McGillicuddy is no wrestler or worker, but she proved herself that night that she could actually work. And Alfonso, we all know how crazy he is. He's a referee, but he's done some crazy stuff in the past in the ring.
Mm.
And then at number 1, actually I got one of my favorite matches from one of my favorite shows ever, ECW One Night Stand, the first one. I have the Dudleys versus Sandman and Tommy Dreamer. Everything about that match was epic. Like the Dudleys coming back in the old school tie-dye shirts with the jeans. Tommy Dreamer coming out. Sandman coming over into the Sandman. Like it doesn't get more iconic than that. Like there's this one shot of Tommy Dreamer just sitting there with his hands, and you could tell like he's getting goosebumps when Tommy Dreamer music hits.
And
You
he's
see
like,
Devon. Yeah, Devon's like pacing back and forth in the ring. You can see him loosening up, get the blood flowing. Like,
John's like
man,
the ropes and like.
yeah. That whole match was epic. And then you got Beulah McGillicuddy in that too, I think, at the end. She ran in and helped.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my number 1.
Nice.
For my honorable mention, I'm gonna go with the Sex Guys versus Kenny and Matt Hardy. Because I think it's gonna be up there as one of the. You got the final shot of them in a circle, putting the middle finger up at the end. That's gonna be an iconic picture, I think, forever.
Gotta get that on the shirt.
Forever.
Sammy Guevara running away from the cart of golf.
Legendary.
That's right up there with Stone Cold and Booker T in the grocery store for me.
Yeah.
That was like hilarious moments of wrestling. So yeah, there's definitely a honorable mention. I think it's gonna be maybe a few years down the line it'll move up on my list, but right now it's an honorable mention.
Yeah. Logan.
So I guess I'm next.
Take over.
All right, no specific order because I'm.
Okay, cool.
So the first one I'm gonna go with is Cactus Jack. Debuted on Monday Night Raw when he beat Triple H. That was epic moment. I remember watching that as a kid, and I was like, man, yeah, bang bang. Yeah, that's when Terry Funk first came too, I believe, right? With the
Chainsaw Charlie.
Messed him up too, made him put a stocking cap over his
Chainsaw Charlie.
right.
Because the beaker didn't think that people would know who Terry Funk was.
Right.
It's crazy. It's crazy because our first WWF live show, one of the main events was Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack versus the New Age Outlaws in a street fight.
Dude, dumpster match? The dumpster match was so tight.
Yeah, they did a dumpster match here at the UNO Lakefront Arena.
My next one would be Taz versus Bam Bam Bigelow. I believe it was a heat wave. It was for FTW rules.
Oh, classic.
Off the chain. Taz doing the DDT in the right way.
Yeah. Classic.
Epic moment, yeah.
Yeah.
Number 1, would be the last one I would say will be Triple H versus Shawn Michaels. It was Shawn Michaels' first match back.
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam 2002.
Classic.
Yeah. That's why I tell people, like, it's like his run from 2002 until he retired. It's like way better than watching that in your house era stuff.
The cokehead,
Yeah.
pillhead, Shawn Michaels,
Right.
fucking Sonny in the shower 7 times a day at tapings.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy because I don't remember many matches from his in your house. Like,
Yeah, same
I
here.
remember ones like the Vader matches, I guess, and the Sid match,
The Razor Ramon.
the ladder match, of course. But
Right.
like you said, the 2002 stuff was way better, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
Honorable mentions. I'm gonna have to throw Impact, give them a little shout out. James Storm versus Bobby Roode at Bound for Glory, 2012. Really bloody.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that match. Now I remember when they broke up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really awesome street fight.
I can dig it. Yeah. Good stuff, man. And I was thinking too, like, are we all gonna have the same ones? Because like I'm with
Right.
Larry, like street fight isn't like my top stipulation, but it got me thinking after this Sex Gods match. Like, man, that was one of the most memorable. Well, man, I'm trying to remember what the other memorable ones were, right? My honorable mention, I mean, I got two. First off, the one we just witnessed on Wednesday, Sex Gods versus Broken Matt and Kenny Omega. Larry already touched on all the points, reasonings why. The image with the inner circle is going to stand the test of time. That was a moment. But the match in and of itself had all kinds of fun spots throughout. Again, the concession stand part, once they got there, that was like the third act of the match, the teasing of the field. Like, it was just so fun. I on the edge of your seat kind of fun, where you're just like, oh shit, this is super entertaining. And they've already done stuff like that when the Inner Circle, I think it was the second week Inner Circle was together, didn't they? Wasn't it when Jericho was like, I got a ticket? And like, I bought a ticket. And they're like,
Yep.
and Dustin was there and everything. So like, they've already shown that they can do it. This is not the first time they've done that. And that's, man, I love when they go outside of the ring and just do more. But anyways, that one. The next one I got to give, and it's funny too, because this is on a technicality, because technically this was part of one of 3 matches. If you guys recall, I believe it was 2002 Armageddon, the 3 stages from Hell match. One of those stipulations was a street fight, and that was between Triple H and HBK, of course. That match was dope, all 3 matches in totality. But the street fight was fun. You got the barbed wire bat with Triple H, and the fact they're like best friends, but you're seeing them go through this just blood battle. And I mean, honestly, that was the only 3 stages of Hell match ever, right? Like, they didn't do that again. They only did
not in WWE.
Yeah, they only did that between Triple H and Shawn, and it was like, I know it's fake, right? It's fake. I know it's fake, but like, it felt like a blood feud. It felt like 2 people that hate each other. If you remember, it's he smashed HBK's face into the car, and they had to it was like the scrambled face, and they unscrambled it, and it was me, you dumb son of a bitch. And like, you're like, oh, like, it was just such a cool blood feud. So you can't have a street fight if it's like lukewarm characters that like, why are they fighting? It has to be like, I hate these people, I'm gonna beat the crap out of them type of a feel to the match. They're former best friends. It just felt real. Like, I really dug that. So that's my honorable mentions. Man, I don't know how to rank these, because this is basically like 1A, 1B, 1C, because these are all dope to me. But Larry already said it. Edge versus Foley, WrestleMania 22. I'll never forget, Larry. I was working at Best Buy at the time in college. Dude, back in the day at Best, I was in appliances, so I was all the way in the back corner of the store, and it was so tight because the computer was facing the store. So your boy was just on there, like, listening to like whatever the streaming app was for music then, like Synchronicity, whatever the fuck that thing was called. I don't even know.
Shout out to Ustream. I used to pirate stuff all the time on Ustream.
I'd be back
all the
there
pay-per-views.
I would be back there just like E-Bombs World in it before YouTube, all that stuff. But
Justin TV.
Yep. I was trying to get Mania tickets, and it was in Chicago, which you guys are on Central Time. I'm on Eastern Time. So I thought the tickets went on sale at a certain time. It was Central Time. I got screwed over. They sold out. And this was back in the day when Mania tickets actually sold out like right on the spot. You didn't have like tickets leading up to the event because nobody cares. So yeah, I missed out on. I was bummed out. Edge and Foley, man. That burning table. You talk about a moment. That's one of the coolest spots, in my opinion, in WrestleMania history. Yeah, there's epic stuff like Hogan slam on Andre, but dude, see him just pouring the gasoline on the table and just lighting it, and then him just it was just legendary, dude. That was such a cool moment. I gotta put that up there. Yeah, they beat the shit out of each other, and I love Edge selling it like
Devon. remember Devon used to sell suplexes and stuff like that.
Yeah, dude.
Wiggling out of the ring.
Next
I
one,
would like to get a backstory on it.
Next one, I gotta go to Vince McMahon's favorite son, Shane McMahon, and and Kurt Angle, King of the Ring.
Classic.
Dude, back suplex into the fucking glass, doesn't break. Hey, sorry, gotta hit you again, brother. Smashes him through the glass plate, like just epic stuff, man. It was so. And for a non-wrestler like Shane to sell like that against a ring general like Kurt Angle, who is one of the best wrestlers ever, purebred amateur wrestlers ever, regardless of the goofy Shield match and his goofy Corbin Mania farewell and him getting fired. You got to go back and watch his stuff, especially his Impact. His Impact stuff was better than his WWE stuff.
Actually, even before that, like when he was doing the WWE ECW, that's when you started seeing like, all right, this dude's taking it to another level.
Yeah,
he had the ECW mouthpiece in his mouth.
Yeah, he's like,
but Shane was on another level that night. So was Kurt, and especially to see Kurt in like a weird sort of unconventional, like a street fight. It was seeing them in just this weird mode, but it worked so well. So sometimes things just don't make sense and come together. They make sense. And it did that night. So just super memorable street fight. And then last but not least, doesn't come to any surprise, Triple H Cactus Jack. It's incredible.
Rumble.
I'm watching this right now. It's on the WWE Untold. They go over it. Dude,
but which one? When Cactus Jack first came back on Raw?
No, so because this is
that was in the Garden when he came back, right? Because he went through the 3 different gimmicks.
This is
how makes was the promo before?
This is Royal Rumble 2000.
All right, the Royal Rumble, all right.
Yeah, I watched that
2000. And it was for the title. Because that's the thing. A lot of these matches we named weren't for the title. This was for the WWE Championship. There was real violence in the match. Now, like I was watching the doc before we were recording because I was in that mindset of that was our triple threat tonight. Oh yeah, this is my favorite. I remember it. I want to see what they had to say about it. Dude, Mankind hit Triple H with a suplex on this table, and the wood split into a tendon in Triple H's calf, and Triple H was saying how his boot felt heavier. One boot felt heavier than the other, and when he got back after the match, they pulled the boot off, and they just all the blood that was in it. And you see it. It's sliced open. It looks like Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. It's just bloody violence. It's not that's always the running joke of Hell in the Cell. It shreds flesh. And it's like a pillow fight. Matches nowadays, a Hell in the Cell match now, you're this is
his careers.
Babysitter's Club, the book, presents Hell in a Cell. And you're okay, that was lame.
Yeah, sponsored by Rocket League.
But it was violent. Yeah, right? Stridex presents. Dude, it was just ultra violent. That match might be the most ultra violent WWE match they've ever put on.
You see there's a documentary on it on a network?
Yeah, I've added it to the list, so I mean, yeah.
All right, yeah, I might have to check it out.
Yeah. Dude, and this was a point, their feud had reached such a boiling point. It was that feud was just drilled of like super hatred because Mankind, you got this unconventional dude, wears a fucking like ratty t-shirt and the mask and he's all goofy. Triple H is, you know, the pedigree and he's just this world-class wrestler and Mankind's a joke. And so they played that feud just so brilliantly. But like all the weapons, the barbed wire bat, the tables, the thumbtacks, they got the thumbtacks involved. And that was the finish of pedigree, the Triple H pedigree of Cactus Jack on that, and it looked super painful, like a violent match where like, oh, it's scripted. No, they hurt themselves in that match. And we joke about the goofy selling by Edge and stuff, and we love Edge, and that match was brilliant. But there's just something about this. It was super, super violent. Felt real, felt like a legitimate fight of what you'd see two people that hate each other doing to each other, bloodying each other up, hurting each other, and that's why it was my number one. I mean, I don't think it gets any better than that. Cactus Jack.
I'm surprised.
Royal Rumble.
I'm surprised nobody didn't pick Ladder Wars.
Oh!
That's why I didn't say anything because I thought one of y'all would pick it.
There's plenty, man. I couldn't name like.
Well, PWG's had some great street fights too, but obviously that's my take on it. Is like if it doesn't stick out off the top, like I don't have to go like research it. Then I have to go with my gut and go with things that.
And there are some spots like the show we all went to, the Ring of Honor show with the Bucks jumping off that high ladder into the table. What I don't even remember who they wrestled in that match, but I remember that spot. Remember he jumped from ladder to ladder and
I think the Briscoes mine was in that.
It
was like a 3-way or something like that, I believe.
All right, see, but I remember that spot.
Right.
And the Bucks had that pinned to their Twitter forever before they signed with AEW.
And speaking of
to the Twitter account.
Yeah, and speaking of the Bucks too, I know this isn't technically a street fight. It was a guerrilla warfare match, but PWG 11, their annual show, like their big show, PWG 11. Go back to it, YouTube, PWG 11. It was the Young Bucks facing the world's cutest tag team, Joey Ryan and Candice LeRae. And this was the infamous match where Matt Jackson put the Nike on with just
with
a
the
bunch of
thumbtacks.
He super kicked the living shit out of Candice LeRae. And her face was a crimson mask. And there was that legendary PW t-shirt. It was like top 5 seller for like 2 years in a row of her, Candice LeRae. And it was like the L sort of like Candice LeRae and it was her all bloody. That shirt, I still might want to get that shirt. That's a dope, like all-time wrestling shirt. Technically we could say that one, that, and it was funny too, because I guess Matt Jackson's parents like scolded him after the match and was like, we don't agree with what you did and like you hit her too hard and like they made him feel really bad. And like I guess Matt like apologized to Candice, was like, did we overdo it? And she's like, no, it was like that was like the best match ever. Like, don't worry about it.
They're good Christian boys at the end of the day.
Christian boys, yeah, absolutely. Shout out to the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson blessing us with the bumper every week on Kayfabe. So man, it would behoove us not to mention the Bucks in that, but technically not a street fight. It was guerrilla warfare, but I had to mention it. Anything else that you want to get out of the way before we wrap things up?
I have nothing.
No? Yeah, man. Well, that about does it. That's it for another episode of Kayfabe Connection. Next time someone tells you wrestling's fake, you tell them, so are movies and TV.